optician and optometrist.
Optometrist is a 6-year graduate and have also a 1-year board exam, and we are qualified as an optometrist. And for the ophthalmologists, they are the one who check the internal eye.
And in ophthalmologists, more on in diseases, and surgery. And in optometrists, we are more on eyeglasses, contact lens, and visual screening.
Now, I hope that you understand, as we were beginning to understand in there today, that it isn't just a question of going into a store and meeting one person and wearing a couple of glasses and that's it. The first important thing that we were told is that you have to have your eye examined to see if you have a problem with the mechanics of your eye or whether it is just purely a focal thing, yeah? And then you will meet the different people. And they came to see us about a month ago and did some tests of about 20 people, I think, something like that. And they were very thorough tests, and I was surprised. Even tests that I've had in Europe, they weren't as thorough as the tests that we had here. So we were really very pleased. And we had a couple of people asking the questions, the obvious questions. How can we be sure when we go to a store that we're meeting the right kind of people? And that really is the problem in Thailand. And so I would recommend you go and see Euro Optics on Second Road. At the moment, for the members of the Patio Expats Club, they're going to do a special promotion. Thank you, ladies, for coming along and seeing us today for the second time, and we hope to see you again soon. Patio People Television are here once again on a Sunday, here at the Grand Soleil Hotel and Patio Second Road. The Patio Expats Club are having one of their Sunday meetings. And today, the gentleman on my right was here as a guest speaker. He came along for the open forum to do a short special on visas and the local immigration office. We also had the Honorary Consul of the British Embassy come along with him, as he often does, and gave us some information about the updates. So Darren, we don't have these very often, probably 3 times a year. And I think you started off by saying that, thank God, there wasn't too many changes around.
Yeah. As you know, Brian, year on year after October 2006, we seem to have had a lot of changes on a yearly basis around about the same time. But this year they seem to have left us alone, so there wasn't that much to really be worried about. But I enjoyed it today. It was good. I was asked a lot of questions outside before everybody knew I was here. So I was asked a lot of questions before I went in the room. And after. It was mainly people like the surety, you know, even though they think they understand the visa like a retirement visa or a 90-day report or a re-entry permit, they like to just have a chat with me and just to make sure that they've got it right so that they don't make any mistakes. As we always say, the Expats Club's for preempting situations, so situations don't arise, because when situations arise in Thailand it costs you money.
That's right, and of course, why should the individual know these rules? You know, I mean, some of them are quite complex. They're not really difficult, but it's complexity. And if somebody's coming as a tourist, then he probably really just hopes that everything is going to be okay. So, of the changes, was there anything that really we ought to know about?
No, really, no. I mean, obviously, with a retirement visa, as we know, if you're working off the money alone without an income, the money alone, the 800,000 baht in the Thai bank, then you, obviously on your first application, the money only has to be in the bank 2 months before. On a re-application, it has to be in 3 months before, which is a big slip up by people at the moment. Now, obviously, for the viewers, I will reiterate myself, that is if you're not working with an income, only the money alone in the bank. We just went over 90-day reporting because people like to get mixed up if they're out of the country when the 90-day report. You know, what should I do when I come back in, you know, which can be a bit of a grey area at times. And re-entry permits, one of the major questions I was asked was, if somebody renews a retirement visa and they've got a re-entry permit, is the re-entry permit still valid? Which I said, no, it's cancelled. You know, it's cancelled immediately, sorry. It's cancelled immediately. And you must get a new re-entry permit once you obviously change your visa.
Now, if you have renewed a month early and you do get a re-entry, will that again last until the end of the extension?
No. Once if you turn, sorry. phone off. Might be a good idea.
Always turn your phone off when you're going to have an interview.
No, if you, let's say for argument's sake, you've got a retirement visa that runs through the end of January and a multiple re-entry permit that runs to January, but you renew your visa the beginning of January, you haven't got that month on your re-entry permit. You must renew a re-entry permit at the same time.
But that renewal would last until the end of January the next year.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. So
Beyond the year.
The month, you get the month back. So your re-entry permit would last for 13 months, not 12.
Now, for those people that are still running across the border because perhaps they have no choice, I understand there's some new subtle rules on that one.
Yeah, well, obviously, as we know, they changed the law to, if you're on a standard 30-day visa, you want more time, you go to the border, cross any border, come back, you get 15 days. We've heard that obviously once you've done 4 visa runs and you've done 2 months, you can't obviously do any more. So, then you're having to look at going to Laos, or Penang or Phnom Penh for a 60-day tourist visa if you wish to stay longer.
And if you did go out, let's say you went to Penang and you come back one time, does it reset the clock? Can you start doing another 4 over the border?
Yes, you can. So you do your 60-day tourist visa, then you do your 30-day visa extension at the immigration, then you can start your visa runs.
Okay. And I also heard something about going to the same foreign country office more than 2 or 3 times may present a problem.
Yeah, it's been on a lot of the expat forums and in the newspapers. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is now restricting, obviously, giving out single entry and double tourist visas to back-to-back people. People tending to use tourist visas to stay here for quite a long time, and obviously this has been picked up on. So now, as we believe in different consulates, they're restricting how many tourist visas you can have. They're going off the history in your passport, so they're looking at. So it's not 100% certain if you've been going 3, 4, 5, 6 times that you're going to get another visa when you go. But it's obviously the discretion of the consul.
And I guess the overall really is according to the regulations. A tourist visa is for somebody coming to Thailand occasionally, and for somebody who wants to live here, there are ways of living here.
The problem is, Brian, it is obviously very difficult for people. Some people don't want it. For people under 50 years old, there isn't a massive amount of options apart from working or education or marriage. If you don't want to do them 3 things, then under 50, you've not a lot of options, and this is why people tend to look at other options rather than getting something more permanent.
The non-immigrant multi-entry that lasts for a year, somebody under 50 wouldn't have too much trouble getting that in their own home country?
Yeah, in their own home country, okay, but different countries, consulates work different ways. Because as we all know, if you're British in the UK, it's not majorly difficult to get a 1-year-old visa. But I believe in the States it is quite difficult. So in Australia it's quite difficult. So you've got to have certain criteria in different countries. So obviously the honorary consul will work their own way.
And you're so busy these days, I notice you now have an assistant coming with you each week. Would you like to introduce her?
Yeah, this is my assistant called Tuck. We're actually training her up at the moment to try and take a bit of pressure off me. So when I can't come here, I've got an assistant who can come and answer the questions for the members and keep them updated. I mean, over the last 5 years, our job here has just been mainly to preempt situations, keep yourself updated for the times that I'm not here, and keep the members updated of any changes that they wouldn't hear about.
Yes, well, it'll make a nice change to have a good-looking young lady here. Now that you're an elderly married man with a young family, I do understand why Sundays are very important to you, because I believe you're open 6 days a week in your office.
No, 5 days, Brian, Monday to Friday, but obviously I do sometimes the Scandinavian Expat Club as well, and we're preparing for the following week, so we are quite busy and doing okay. So my Sunday is my time for eating MK and Swenson's and doing things we shouldn't be doing, but there you go.
Well, thank you, Darren McGarry, and his charming assistant from coming along today. There you are. That's something else you missed by not being here at the Paddy Expats Club. These chats with Darren and his appearance on stage don't happen all that often, but when they do, there's a tremendous amount of information that you can get out of an expert like this. And so this is the kind of opportunity that perhaps you missed today, and you'll have to wait until the next one. But we, the Patio Expats Club are here every Sunday. Doors open 10:30. The Grand Soleil Hotel, Patio 2nd Road. Come and see us. We're always here.